Have you ever felt like your boring PowerPoint slides put your audience to sleep? What if you could turn them into fun, interactive lessons that keep everyone hooked? In this very intuitive tutorial, I'll show you exactly how to use iSpring within your PowerPoint for e-learning the easy way with no tech skills needed at all. You're going to want to stay to the end. Trust me on this one. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into how you can supercharge PowerPoint with iSpring to create engaging online courses. Now, regardless of whether you're a teacher, a trainer, or just starting out a side hustle, this will make your lessons pop regardless. You can use the link in the description down below to get started with a 14-day free trial. There's no credit card required, so you can try it out with no financial commitment or any strings attached. Alright, let's jump straight in. So once you've downloaded iSpring, you'll see that this is what your PowerPoint actually looks like. Up on this ribbon, you'll see the iSpring suite, and it'll give you all of these options. Now, the first thing you'll need to do is go to the right-hand side and click on Sign In, and this is what it will look like after you've signed in. So you can see here that you can create a new slide based on your courses, a page, or even another type of learning content. So this could be a PDF, it could be other types of material that you could import. You could also simply record audio, video, and then you could edit your narration. Now, what's nice about this is if you're already using PowerPoint to create all of your presentations and your e-learning material, this will allow you to incorporate iSpring into all of that. So you'll still have your PowerPoint tools. So you'll still be able to use PowerPoint as usual. You'll have everything that you've normally had to use with the addition of the iSpring suite. So let's start creating something. Over here you can see we've got quiz. We're going to start here. So if you click on quiz, you can create a quiz, a survey, or you can insert an existing quiz or survey that you've already saved. I'm going to go ahead and use this one right here. So let's click on quiz and let's click on create quiz. Now you will see a completely new interface loaded over here. And what's great is it is a basic interface, but it's got lots of options. So what we're going to do, on your left hand side, you will see that there is a form view and a slide view. And here you can start creating questions. So click on this question group 1, you can give it a name, and in here you can actually see that this is where all of your questions will be kept. On the top on your ribbon, you'll see questions. Click on this, and here you will have many different questions that you can add in here. So from multiple choice to multiple response, true or false. We've even got a drag and drop, as well as a hotspot, a Likert scale, and an essay, which is all a little bit more interactive than just multiple choice. So let us go and choose a question type. We are going to add a sequence question type. Now here you can choose your question, so you can type out what that question is. So let's add a question in here. How do you get your first job on a digital marketplace? Here you can add in images, video, and audio. And then we've got the current order. So this is the order of which the sequence must go in to be correct. So let's add in some options here. So I've got the correct order. So in order for you to get your first job on a digital marketplace, we need to complete your profile, look for jobs, optimize your profile for those particular jobs, and then stay consistent. And what we need to do here is then, if we want to add in an additional choice, just click over here and you can add that in. Now, on the bottom section, you'll have feedback and branching. Here is the correct feedback and then the incorrect feedback. So you can change this as well. You can just click in there and type in there. You can also just open it up, and then branching will allow you to jump to the next slide, finish the quiz, or jump back to a particular question group. So let's go once we're done here. Now you can go ahead and add an additional question up over here. There are also some additional things that you can add in here, such as info slides, question groups, and then you can also add in an introduction. On the right hand side, there are some slide options such as the question type. So it's either graded or a survey. We can also have feedback by result, or not at all, and then you can choose how many attempts the user has to actually have answered this question, and then you can limit the time to answer the question, and you can accept partially correct answers, which if you do so, you'll be able to adjust what their feedback is over here. Now, once you are done, you go to the top over here and it says save and return to course, and now this will be implemented into your existing slide. Go ahead and just click on got it. And now we have this slide, and it's a completely new slide, and what we can do is we can click down on the left hand side and we can move it accordingly to where we would like to place it. Now I've gone ahead and opened up a third slide over here, and this is the slide where we are going to use the interaction over here. Now what we need to do is click on create interaction. It now says that you need to save the presentation before you can work with any iSpring suite features, so go ahead and say yes. Make sure that this is saved. Again, you'll have this new window pop up, and here you can choose your interaction type. So what we want to do is go over and have a look at what is available. Go through this and hold your cursor over every one of them. You'll now see a short description of exactly how it works. Choose then the one that you would like to use and go ahead and click on create interaction. So I've chosen the process as my type of interaction, and here we can start defining all of our steps. So we've got step 1 over here, okay? And to keep it simple, we are going to just leave this as step 1, step 2, step 3, and you can add in a description for every one of these steps. Now, you can also add in an introduction, so you can add in a complete slide over here for an introduction, as well as a summary of this interaction. On the top, you can add additional steps. So we've got over here, new step. And then if you want to delete that, you can literally just right click on it and you will have some additional options there, but you can delete that, or you can click on it and use the delete over here. We also have some additional options such as the step color, and you can format that. We've got some properties, color scheme, and then you can format your text. You can also insert media. And once you're done, you can go over here and click on save and return. We can now go here to presentation or publish, and you can change how your presentation is presented, and then you can go and click on preview, and this will allow you to preview exactly what this slide will look like, including all of the interactions. Now you need to do it here and not in your PowerPoint regular slideshow tab, because this will allow you to have this interactive like we made it to be. So this is the preview, and you can see that this is our introduction, and you can click down over here, click on next. You can see that this is actually interactive. All right, so we can move this about. We can also go through the summary and then the rest of the slide as we are going through. Now if you want to make this public, you can go ahead, click on publish, and it'll then be live. Quick question: what's the biggest headache you're facing right now while making e-learning slides? Drop it in the comment section below. Let's start a conversation. I've opened up another slide over here. We're going to go over to this slide, and here we are going to click on role play. Now, when you click on role play, again, you will need to make sure that you are saving your current presentation. So let's just go ahead and save that as is. You will have your window pop up again so that you can create your role play. From here, we are simply going to click on create scene, and here you can start creating your very first scene. So we first have got our content section. This is what the character is actually going to say. So let's go ahead and type in, "Hi, welcome to iSpring." Now we can add in a character over here. So let's go ahead and click on choose character. We can see that this role play can be the same as the previous scene. We can add no character at all, or we can add in from our content library, or we can use one of the built-in characters here. So let us go ahead and use one of our characters. I'm going to use this one here, and then we can go here and click on background, and you can choose a different background. So let's put her in a really cool little area. Right, this looks pretty sick. You can come down over here, click on close, and here you can choose the character's emotion. So from happy, we've got normal, puzzled, unhappy, and angry. We are going to make her happy. We can then go into images. You can change that right over there. And then we've got properties, and we've got the scene color, which we're going to leave as is. And here we can then add in replies. So go ahead and click on this. You can add in whatever reply you would like to add in here according to what your course is about. And once you're done with all of this, you're going to go ahead, click on close. And this is your very first role play. Now you can click down and move it around. Okay. And if you do want to change anything about it, you can go ahead and click on that and you can edit it again. Now, before we go and say save and return, you can actually go ahead and click on voiceover. And here we can actually add a voiceover. So we can either record ourselves, you can import, or here you can use the text to speech. So let's go ahead, click on text to speech, choose a language, choose a voice. Let's test it out.
Hi, my name is Abigail.
Abigail sounds amazing. Let's go ahead, add in our text over here, and then we can preview that text again, and we can say insert. We now have our scene ready, and let's say preview.
Hi, and welcome to iSpring.
That sounds amazing. Now, of course, you can customize this completely as much as you possibly want. Now, before we do anything else, we can go ahead and say close voiceover mode. We've now saved that over there. You can also go ahead now and click on save and return. This will be inserted into your existing presentation. And again, we can change the order of the slides on the left-hand side over here. Now, there's so much you can do here that this video will not be able to cover absolutely everything. There is a screen recording option. Over here, you can create new projects recording your screen. There are AI-generated images using some of the leading AI models. You can also add in YouTube links to your slides as well as web objects. There are existing slide templates which you can use and just customize. And then we've got the characters which you can insert and customize completely, backgrounds, objects, icons. You've got your slide presentation properties. You can change how that actually works. And then we have an AI assistant over here as well. If you've got any questions about the iSpring suite, you can just go ahead and ask the questions right over there. So many tools to explore on the iSpring suite. It's actually unbelievable. Did I not tell you? That is how you use PowerPoint for e-learning with iSpring, step by step. Easy. Now your slides will engage your audience like never before. Oh, and don't forget to use the link down below in the description to get started with iSpring and get that 14-day free trial. Until next time, happy building.